We're working with the Everwrite file. We're going to be doing page numbering and a few other things here. First thing here, we're inside here. We want to format this thing here. You can hold your mouse over these things here. You get an instant formatting here by using the styles, okay? You can add pictures. I'm doing a bunch of things in here with tabs, etc. When we look at this section here, we see how the spacing is very wide here. What I'm going to do here, I click inside here, and then I say remove space after paragraph. I could do this here. I might make this bold, underline. And then we want the stuff here to be aligned properly here. We're going to set tabs. I go here. I highlight these 4 lines here. You've got the ruler displayed. If it's not, go to the far right to display it. And if I click on over here, it shows that I can move it to the left, move it to the right. And then you got to be careful when you do this here. If I pull it down, it's a mess here. You got that. You can pull it over to the left or the right. And again, I want to fix the spacing here. I would just go again in here, remove space after paragraph. I had the paragraph marker on so I could see these tabs. Now, what I want to do here, I want to put some captions and stuff here. Like, I want to make all these bold and italic. I click in here, and then I go down here. I get a right pointing arrow. Hold down the Control key. Control. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. And then I could do a Control B. Control I. We've got that. When you see this red underline, you know that means it's misspelled. Right click, sorry about that prompt there. I could just say ignore all. I could add to dictionary if it's a proper name. So I'll just scroll up. Got that done. This is going to be a multi-page document, okay? What I want to do now, if you want to move something, if you want to do, you'd all know how to cut and paste. You have a drag and drop feature. I click in here. I have it blue. I just hold the clicker, drag it straight next to executive summary here. What I want to do here, we have this going to a page break down below here. It's forcing a page, or because of so much, what would I say? Like a roll of paper towels. It continues. What I want to do is I want to have a cover page. I only want the page number to be on the second and the third pages. And I also want, it's a cover page. You don't want a page number on there, but you want this to be page number 1, where introduction is here. So I'm clicking before the I in introduction. This is not difficult. It is a little complex. So I'm going to go to page layout. You can do a page break here. We're going to do a next page section break where you've got a partition. And if it doesn't say that you're on section 2 down here, I work with 2013. It is the same with all versions. I left click on section. I click down here. It says now I'm in section 2. What I want to do is I want to put a footer. Page 1, page 2. And what I do in here, I'm in the section 2 here. I go into insert, where I'm there right now, and then I'm going to click on footer. You click in here. It gives you a lot of choices, a lot of styles. And what I typically do is just the plain or the blank here. If I go into blank here, it gives me this little placeholder here. What I'm going to do here, I just want the page number here. I don't want that. Do you see what it says same as previous? You don't want it to be the same. Anything you type in here will show up. I think you know what I'm saying. So what you want to do is you have link to previous here, uncheck it. And then we hit the delete key or the backspace key. And then if I want to put the page number here, I could say page. What we want to do is you don't type in a 1. You're going to put in a code. I click on page number up here. And what I do here, I say current position, plain number. I want this to be page 1. So what I do, I highlight this, okay? And I right click inside it. Format page numbers. I want this to start as 1. I say OK. I close out the header and the footer. If I go into print preview, it's showing the 3 pages here. And let me just zoom this up. You got that there. I'm going to scroll down a bit. It has that type here that I have to fix that in there. But if I go in here, this says page 1. You have 3 sheets of paper. So to fix this thing here, I'm out of print preview. If I look up here, do you see where it says type here? Sometimes you can double click. It didn't work in this case. So what you would do here, I right click inside here. It often works better in the 2010. You can just double click. I just say edit footer, highlight the text, delete it, close out of it. Other things that I want to do in here. If you're doing pictures, clip art, if I'm doing this, you go into insert. You got pictures here, online pictures. That replaces the clip art that you had. So if I go into online pictures here, it's going to go into here. It uses Bing to do a search. And then I could also take things from my hard drive. But if I type in tomato, it will search the web. And then if I want to just put a tomato there, I double click on it. I got a really big tomato. If I want to make it a lot smaller, I could just click inside here. Let's make it 2 inches. It's a lot smaller. I want it over to the right. I click on wrap text, square, pull it over to the right. So we have a look at that. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to go to the very end. You're adding a table to the end with some information. Let's say you want it to be landscape. Right now we have typical portrait. So to do this, we go to page layout, breaks, next page. Now what I do now, I'm on this thing here, I say orientation, landscape. And if you look over here, you can see right here that it's wider. And if I'm going to put a table in here, just a simple table, we insert a table. And I could draw it, and I could go like this, and I have it here, and I could just say type of tomato, hit the tab key, and I could say year, price, quantity, and then I'll just do a couple ones here. I'll say plum, 2005, and I'll just say 0.98. We have 12. I go here, cherry. I'm going to hit the tab key, brings me another one, and I'll say beefsteak. I'm just making up these prices. I want to talk about alignments and stuff here, and I'm going to say 1,000. So if I'm doing this here, I want to narrow columns. When I go into the ruler, I can just pull this in a little bit. Go into here. On that thing here, this is the easy way to do this. Over here, pull that in. Pull this one in. And if I want the caption centered here, I could just center. Oops. Highlight over here. It's centered. I can bold it. And I can make this even narrower here, but I could even just center this too. And then if I want this stuff to be aligned, which is nice, I align right. So you got that. There's a lot of features in here. What's very cool here, you have these 2 tabs here. Play around with them. They're pretty easy. You can format it. I click in there. I gave it a nice little color there. If I don't want this bold here, I just highlight. Oops. Highlight this. And then if I want to add a row or a column, you can do things in the layout tab here. You can insert, move rows around in there. You can even go in here. Let's say I want to do this where I want to sort this in a certain way with the most recent at the top. Sort. It says type of tomato. I want to use, let's say, the column called year. and I want to do descending. I say OK. So the beefsteak is at the top. So this is a quick overview of what we're doing with this. I'm going to do a print preview in one moment. I'm going to go to the beginning. Let's say you want this top page or first page centered. Super easy. Page layout. You click on margins. You could just go into here, custom margins. And then you just go into layout. And then when it says vertical alignment, center. And see how it says just this section? I just click that, say OK. Now I'm going to do a preview. I'm going to shrink this down. And you can see how you have a horizontal page over there. Pretty cool. A little trial and error. Save before you do something complex. That way you could just exit if you mess it up, reopen it.